We tried peace. The galactic forced us to war. The stars had always been silent. For thousands of years, humanity had gazed upward and dreamed of neighbors among them. Friends, mentors, equals. When the first alien signal reached Earth in 2137, the world erupted in celebration. Politicians spoke of a second enlightenment. Scientists cried tears of joy on live broadcasts, and children were taught that the universe had finally said, hello. The Galactic Compact, an interstellar federation of over 200 civilizations, was not what we expected. They were old, vast, and powerful, their fleets spanning thousands of systems. They welcomed us as one might welcome a stray dog into a city of gods, politely, but with veiled condescension. Their language translated poorly, but their meaning was clear. Humanity was primitive and still ascending. Still we tried peace. Chapter 1. Ambassadors in a City of Stars. The first human embassy on Atria Prime, the capital of the Compact, was a marvel. A diamond-spired building of Terran steel rising against a violet sky. Ambassador Delilah Corson remembered standing at the balcony, looking over a sea of alien delegates. Scaled, feathered, silicon-based, photonic. Humanity was a single soft-bodied mammal among titans. We'll earn their respect, she told her aide one night, fingers tightening on a railing carved from native crystal. We'll show them who we are without firing a shot. The aide, a former Marine named Karis, said nothing. He watched the alien patrol skimmers glide by, their weapon turrets tracking movement even in the heart of the Compact's diplomatic quarter. First things went well. Humanity offered technology, advanced AI algorithms, new propulsion refinements, medical breakthroughs. In return, we were allowed limited trade rights in backwater systems. We obeyed every Compact protocol, every xenocultural etiquette, every law, even when they bent us nearly to breaking. But there were whispers. The Drochthy, an insectoid species with a reputation for cruelty, called us meat-worlders. The Othari, a psionic race, refused to meet our eyes, calling humans mentally polluted. The Compact's news feeds mocked us openly. The apes have arrived, one headline sneered. Let's hope they don't throw their feces. And still we tried peace. Chapter 2. The Spark. It began with a colony on Proxima b. A small, self-sustaining outpost of 8,000 settlers, humans living quietly on the edge of the galaxy. The Compact had guaranteed its safety, on paper. When a Drochthy raiding fleet swept through, burning habitats and harvesting colonists for biological labor, Earth sent urgent transmissions to the Compact's Security Council. We expected swift action. After all, we were members now. But the Council deliberated for 3 months. By the time they issued a mild condemnation of the Drochthy's excessive actions, the colony was gone. 1,000 souls erased. Earth's ambassador delivered a speech in the assembly hall, her voice trembling. You promised us protection, she said. You promised us safety under your compact. The hall rippled with alien laughter. A Zyric delegate, a being of glistening tendrils, replied, protection is for those who can defend themselves. Your species is transitional. Consider this a lesson. Humanity watched the footage on every screen back home. Even the most pacifist nations felt their jaws tighten. But still we tried peace. Chapter 3. Last Chances. Earth doubled its diplomatic efforts. We proposed joint defense initiatives. We offered concessions. We paid reparations to species who claimed cultural insult by mere human existence. Behind the scenes, though, something was changing. The Terran Defense Coalition, TDC, formed, a secretive alliance of human militaries and corporations. Old enemies cooperated. Americans with Chinese, Indians with Pakistanis, Africans with Europeans. Out of grief and humiliation, a quiet forge hammered steel. In the asteroid shipyards of Ceres, engineers built warships disguised as exploration vessels. Quantum AIs wrote tactics manuals no human strategist could match. Marines trained in zero-G boarding under the cover of extravehicular research. But Earth's leaders still sent ambassadors, still signed treaties, still begged for peace. The Compact grew impatient with our neediness. They imposed new restrictions. Human ships required alien escorts. Human trade routes were taxed at triple the normal rate. Human colonies were subjected to ethical inspections. Then came Vega 4, a joint human-alien research outpost studying subspace phenomena. When the facility was sabotaged, likely by a rival alien faction, the Compact blamed us. They seized 237 human scientists, accusing them of technological contamination, and refused to release them. That night, in a hidden war room beneath Geneva, the TDC voted unanimously. The time for peace had ended. Chapter 4. The Quiet War begins. The first strike was surgical. Human cyber warfare AIs infiltrated Compact communication nodes, turning their surveillance blind for precisely 36 hours. In that window, 3 TDC stealth cruisers slipped into Drochthy space and destroyed a slave processing facility. Officially, the Compact blamed pirates. Unofficially, whispers began. The apes were fighting back. Humanity moved carefully. We released no public statements. We claimed nothing. But when the Compact tried to retaliate, they found human ships no longer slow and defenseless, but fast, shielded, and, worst of all, clever. We fought like no species they had ever seen. We did not engage in grand fleet battles. We struck at supply lines, at logistics hubs, at data relays. We weaponized economics, information, and their own arrogance. A Compact admiral famously snarled, "These humans don't wage war. They wage problems." Still, Earth broadcast messages of peace. "We desire only coexistence," our leader said, even as our Black Ops Marines liberated prisoners from alien labor camps. But the Compact escalated. Chapter 5. The Open War. The Battle of Carthage Station was the breaking point. A joint alien force ambushed a convoy of human refugee ships near the neutral station. Over 12,000 civilians died. The footage, escape pods being vaporized, children screaming over intercoms, spread across the galaxy. The next day, the TDC dropped the mask. Earth declared the Compact an unlawful tyranny, and announced the formation of the Terran Free Fleet. For the first time in centuries, humanity fought as one. Our warships were ugly, angular things compared to the sleek curves of Compact cruisers, but they were faster, modular, and endlessly reparable. Our railguns fired tungsten slugs at fractional C velocities, bypassing most energy shields. Our Marines wore adaptive exosuits that let a single squad punch above an alien platoon. Most terrifying of all, we used tactics no one else dared. Kinetic bombardments from stealth drones. Viral AIs that turned enemy warships into floating coffins. Holographic decoys that split fleets apart. An alien analyst wrote, "Humans do not fight to win territory. They fight to break the game." And we did. Chapter 6. Lessons of Predators. The Compact species were old. They had fought their wars millennia ago, then settled into rules, treaties, rituals. War had become ceremonial, limited, predictable, honorable. Humanity had no such illusions. We had learned from our own bloody history. Asymmetric war, total war, psychological war. We weaponized unpredictability itself. At the Battle of Nairo's Rift, a human task force faked a retreat, luring 3 enemy fleets into a gravitational anomaly that tore them apart. At the Siege of Thrall's Gate, our forces used viral memes. Yes, memes, to collapse the morale of an alien population before a single shot was fired. Compact leaders called us monsters. But their citizens, enslaved, exploited, ignored, began to whisper another name: liberators. Rebellions flared on worlds we'd never visited. Alien species sent covert envoys to our fleet, offering intelligence, sabotage, even troops. The Compact had ruled for eons by fear. Humanity gave them something new. Hope. Chapter 7. The Tide Turns. 5 years into the war, The Terran Free Fleet stood at the gates of Atria Prime. Not because we wanted conquest but because we had to end it. Our fleets were exhausted. Our colonies scarred. But the Compact's war machine was cracking. Admiral Corson, the ambassador's younger brother, now a war hero, broadcast a message to every system. We tried peace. For decades we tried. You burned our colonies, enslaved our people, mocked our efforts. We did not want this war. You forced it upon us. Now we will end it. Not for revenge. For survival. For freedom. For every voice you silenced across the stars. The speech went viral across the galaxy. Even Compact soldiers lowered their weapons. Atria Prime fell without orbital bombardment. Human Marines stormed the Assembly Hall and seized the Security Council alive. There were no executions, no purges. Instead, we called for a new treaty. The Accords of Atria, a galactic order where every species had equal vote and protection. Some alien delegates laughed in our faces. Others wept. Chapter 8. Aftermath. 10 years after Proxima B burned, a human child stood on the balcony of a rebuilt embassy on Atria Prime. The sky was still violet, but now the spires bore not the Compact's sigil, but a new one, a circle of stars with a single open hand in the center. Her father, a former soldier, knelt beside her. "Do you know why we fought?" he asked. "Because they were bad," she guessed. "No," he pointed upward. "Because we believed they could be better." Humanity did not become tyrants. We did not impose an empire. We built a coalition of equals, sometimes fractious, often flawed but real. We taught the galaxy the same hard lesson we had learned on Earth. Peace is not the absence of conflict. It is the presence of justice. Epilogue. A message to the stars. A century later, a monument stood on Proxima B, rebuilt and thriving. It bore the names of the 8,000 dead, and below them, an inscription. "We tried peace. You forced us to war. We won not because we were stronger, but because we refused to become you." And for the first time in galactic history, the stars were not silent. They sang with voices human and alien alike, not of fear, but of freedom.